Welcome back to Tennessee Valley this morning. Joe and Kim Palo, although she's not here right now because I got my two buddies here. This is Josh and Zach of Scott's Bicycles, located on Georgetown Road. Those of you that have lived here for a long time know about Scott's Bicycles. It's been a fixture business in this community since 1978,
1978.
So it's been a long time. But gentlemen, thank you for being with us today. We want to talk about Scott's Bicycles because it's exciting to me, and it's exciting the world of bike riding, how it's just transformed into a whole nother area from when I guess I was a kid. And let's first of all start talking about with the store itself. Again, it's been around since 1978. Those of you may remember Scott Coulter was the owner of
original owner of the Scott. Now his son Doug is the owner of Scott's right now.
And unfortunately, our man Scott passed away years ago.
Passed away in 2005.
2005. Mm-hmm. And what a great guy. Of course, came here from the state of Connecticut, came to Connecticut, or the States, from Ireland.
From Ireland.
And so, and he always had that Irish brogue whenever you would talk to him. And what a great guy. But a great business now. And like I said, it's expanded into a whole new area. Now, first of all, I know you guys, we'll talk about the different kinds of bikes, but you carry everything for the biking enthusiast. I mean, from riding to stationary health bikes to all the apparel you need to rides themselves that you guys have. Let's talk about some of that.
Yeah, basically what we have Tuesday night mountain bike rides, all skill levels. We have 8-year-olds all up to 80-year-olds can come out on the rides. It's always a no-drop ride. You're never going to be left by yourself. Always someone's going to be with you. We started the mountain bike rides in 1999. Now we're doing the road rides. We do road rides on every Thursday nights. We have 4 groups for those. It doesn't matter how slow or fast you are. We have a group for you. Someone will be with you at all times. You'll never be stuck out on the road by yourself.
And it's not just for people that have bought a bike through Scott's. It's somebody that just wants to ride. They come to Scott's. That's where you all meet.
Yeah.
And then you leave from there to go wherever.
Yeah, we meet at 6:30. Again, every Thursday night. It doesn't matter what kind of bike you have. If you buy a bike from somewhere else, we're more than happy to take you on a ride with us. It's basically just out so you can meet new people that ride and have a good time with other people.
But if you haven't bought a bike from Scott's, then you're missing out because top of the line, great bicycle brands they carry, and at very, very affordable prices. And again, we're talking about the differences of how it's changed over the years. So there's so many things to think about. I know when I first went in the store, I talked with Zach, I believe, the first time, and he just unloaded on me some information. It was just like, whoa, it's just incredible the amount of information there is about bikes today. We probably can't get in all of that in this particular interview we're going to have today, but we will be having starting this month, we're going to have, or should I say the month of March, there's going to be a local little infomercial we're going to run about Scott's Bicycles where we'll give you more information on how they've transformed to what they are today and how you can get one for your very own. But let's talk about some of the things we have here. You mentioned the group rides. You got road bike riding now that you've added to the mix. And let's talk about like the Greenway expansion. That's something a lot of folks can take advantage of and ride on their own if they'd like to.
Yeah, right now we have the Greenway where you can start right at Raider Drive. You can go from Raider Drive all the way down almost to Starbucks and back, so you can get 3 miles in that way pretty easily. When spring gets here, you'll be able to go from Raider Drive all the way to Home Depot and kind of use that as a simple starting point. And you should have almost, if you do both sides, about a 6-mile round trip. So as you get in more and more shape, you can actually repeat that same route.
And it's exciting. It's a way to be out in the fresh air, get something very healthy for you as well, because this is people are more health conscious, I think, today than they used to be, and this is a great way to stay healthy, and it's a lot of fun in the process. Now, let's real quick touch on this too. We're excited about the county schools have just received a grant where they have purchased they have cycling classes, I guess, where you have stationary bikes health-wise, and then they even have some mountain bikes that have been added to the mix.
Yeah, the Bradley County Schools recently received a large grant where they were able to get 40 mountain bikes. 20 of the mountain bikes went to Bradley High School, so this fall they'll start their first class, And then Walker Valley, they've already been doing a class. It'll be 3 years this fall. 20 more bikes went there. The county schools will get split up amongst themselves. 65 indoor bicycle trainers.
Wow.
So the kids will be able to actually learn new things. What is heart rate? How does it play a role when we ride? And then learn different ratios of how hard you pedal, why you pedal that hard. And it's going to be junior high and high school.
Which is terrific, because those of you may remember back in the day we had physical education in school and kind of got away from it. A lot of kids today can't wait to go home to get in front of the TV with the video games, and we need to get them back outside playing, riding bikes or whatever it may be, something physical. And this is a PEP program grant, physical education program, which enables these kids to do this in school. And it's just, like I said, health-wise, it's great, and then it's fun as well.
It's fun to do, and it's something they'll be able to do for the rest of their lives. It's not like football, baseball. It's a team sport where most kids, once they get out of high school, they no longer play that sport again. And it's something they'll be able to do by themselves or with other people until they get older.
And speaking of older, I think we have a perfect example. There's a young gentleman that rides today, is probably that rides with you folks, that's like 82.
Yeah, he's 82 years old. He comes out on our Thursday night group rides, and he keeps up with the best of us.
See, there's something to be said for that. As you can see, we're looking at now some shots of Scott's Bicycle in the store. Lots of apparel, lots of bikes. Any kind of bike that you would like to have, whether it be a mountain bike, a road bike, a hybrid bike, a commuter bike, an electric bike, whatever it may be, they have there. And some of the brands you guys got, if you'll tell us here, Josh, I know you just added Raleigh to the mix.
We just added Raleigh. We actually started the store in Raleigh on 1978, and we went away from them. And we carry Trek as well. We've carried Trek since '84. Trek is the #1 asked for brand in America. That's why we carry it. It has the best product out there you can buy.
Yeah. And then, of course, all the accessories, as you can see here, the riding apparel, the gloves, the helmets, everything that you would need to get out there and be safe and, of course, have fun. They have it at Scott's Bicycles. Now, let's give the folks the hours of operation, days, phone number, website, everything like that.
We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5:30. Sundays are open 1 to 4. Our website is www.scottsbikes.com. It's all plural, no apostrophes.
There you go. And phone number?
Phone number 423-472-9881.
9881. Folks, you just need to go by there. And you may think, well, gosh, I don't know if I just want to invest immediately in a bike. Well, hey, fear not. They have demos where you can take a demo ride, get demo a few different bikes to find the one that best suits you. They have rentals as well. I know a lot of folks will come there and rent the bike to take it on an excursion. Is that not true, Zach?
Yeah, it is. So you can come out. Basically, your rental is $45 for a hardtail, $65 for a full suspension. We'll take you on a ride if it's something that you don't know. Okay, road bike, mountain bike, is going to be simple stuff for the Greenway. So come in, we'll get you on the right bike, the right size. So you don't have to think about it. Just let us do it. We'll take care of you.
And they will fit you. You don't realize that you need to be fit for a bike. You don't just grab a bike and think that this is it, depending upon your height, your weight, whatever. They've got every kind of bike there, and they are fit specialists. They can tell you exactly what you need, what style, what you're looking for what you want to do, because you may not have any idea. You may go in there and think, I want to do this, but what bike do I need? They can direct you in that area. Now, there's a lot of folks that work there, I know, that help everybody out, and a great store to go in as far as people being nice. Trust me, customer service is their specialty. But we mentioned, of course, Doug and David Coulter, Scott's sons. And Michelle.
Michelle's their sister. Doug's the owner of the store, and then David works and Michelle works for him too. We also have their nephew, Scotty, works there as well. And then Zach and myself.
Just a great crew, and I'm telling you, every one of them are experienced and knowledgeable in not just bike riding, but bike construction. I know you guys, you put them together every day, and I know to you probably can do it blindfolded. I think with this particular thing with the grant for the county schools, you put together like 9 bikes.
We put together 40 mountain bikes, and then 65 trainers in a matter of a couple days. A lot of hard work.
And I saw the other day, I was riding by and I saw when you guys were making the delivery to the schools. I saw them on the trailer and I thought, how fun. And I know these kids are going to be excited because everybody likes to ride a bike. And it's true, once you learn, you don't ever forget. You come close, I think, if you haven't ridden in a while, but you don't ever forget. Let's also talk, we got Chattanooga is developing some new trails as well where folks can go riding and take advantage of that area.
Yeah, our newest trail system that opened last January was Enterprise South, and it's off of Volkswagen Drive. And very nice, very simple system, walking, riding. You have paved trails, no traffic. You also have single track for mountain bikes, and then you can go hike there too. Sorba Chattanooga built that, so our local chapter, you can also look on their website, sorbachattanooga.com. We'll see the new trail coming in this summer at Raccoon Mountain. We'll have another 2 miles to that existing 17 miles of trail. Again, beginner trail all the way through pretty advanced. And that trail will actually be 6 miles from the base of Raccoon. So if you don't want to drive to the top, you can actually climb it and then have a nice descent at the end of the day. On top of that, we're expanding at Booker T, Washington State Park. Right down from there is 4 miles at Harrison Bay, very beginner friendly. So you know it's 4 miles, it's a single loop. You don't have to worry about getting lost, just go in. If you go into the left, you stay right all the way out. If you go into the right, you stay left all the way out.
Which makes perfect sense. But a terrific way to stay, to be healthy, stay healthy, and to keep fit is to bike ride. And we were talking. I was talking with Doug, and I was mentioning about, you know, stationary bike is great, obviously for the health benefits, but I would think you would want to be out on the bike, outside somewhere if you're going to do the pedaling anyway. His point was there's a lot of folks that live in apartment complexes, sometimes in areas where they can't get out and ride, so it's the next best thing in riding, which is a great idea. I didn't even think of that. And with this particular thing with the county school grant, these kids are able to do both. They're able to ride out on trails or wherever they may take the bikes to ride, but then they can also have the cycling class where they ride inside on the stationary bikes and get the health benefits of that.
Yeah, and kind of the goal with the high school is NICA started a few years back. That's the governing body for high school racing. So there's already a group in California to where they have a full high school, basically just like football, baseball, except it's a cycling team. And Texas, there's 3 other states across that have adopted that. So hopefully some of our private schools, Baylor, Macaulay, some of those, Sewanee, they already have it, but hopefully now we can bring it into our high schools, get the kids out there. If they want to do it for leisure, again, they can do it from that age all the way through adult life. And then if they'd like to race and take it to that next level, they'll have that chance.
And I think if you start, you won't ever stop. It's something that, again, when you were a kid, you know how much fun you had riding your bike. You couldn't wait to get out on your bike. And you have forgotten those days as you get older and life gets in the way. But if you can make time to go out and ride a bike, you do it one time, you'll want to do it again and again and again. And some folks have to make time for that. I read in one of the magazines that that's the key, is to make time every day that you say, I'm going to ride today, and I'm going to ride when I get off, or I'm going to ride at this time, and try to stick to that. And if you do it enough, you'll be surprised at the benefits that you'll get from that.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing we saw, one of our friends of the shop, Gene, he came in, he started out on your Greenway bike. Started riding before we had a Greenway. He would just go ride the parks. 2 years later, he's on a mountain bike. He's starting a mountain bike. He's lost in that time a little over 30 pounds. Wow. He's kept that weight off, never gained it back. We have some more extreme people that have lost, 60, 70 pounds. And instead of having to feel, I've got to exercise, I've got to eat right, those things come second. Let's get out there first. Let's pedal. Let's enjoy it. And the weight's going to come off. If it's not about weight, but we need that stress relief, go out and ride. I mean, you can spend it with your significant other. You can do it by yourself. But the big thing is it's actually enjoyable. We go out and ride for fun. We're not there to beat ourselves up. There's a few out there that do, the guys that are at 6 a.m., the guys that are riding on those cold winter nights. But the other 90% of us, we're out there to enjoy it.
Just to have fun. And again, the rides are Tuesdays and Thursdays. They also, I think you have a ride just specifically for ladies.
We do have a little ride just for ladies. It'll start up here when the time changes back in and it starts warming up. In March. It's a Wednesday morning. It's a Wednesday morning ride. And Michelle leads that group ride. It's women only. There's no guys around.
And that's sometimes is attractive to women because they want to be with other women and not have to worry about dudes taking off and being 2 miles ahead and they trying to catch up. Well, it's a very interesting topic, and again, during the month of March, you're going to be seeing a local infomercial on WTMB that will explain more about Scott's bicycles, the benefits of bike riding, and how you can get one for your very own. And then, like I said, there's no hard sales at Scott's Bicycles. You go in there, you have any questions, they'll answer them, and trust me, they can answer any question you have. And they can set you up on a bike for you to try out and see if you like it, one that may be within your price range, the kind of bike of the kind of style you're looking for. But they have everything there, and it's been around, as we said, since 1978. And what we always say, if a business has been around that long, they are doing something right. And they do it right at Scott's Bicycles. Well, Josh and Zach, thank you so much for being with us this morning. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe.
And I'm glad we're letting the folks know about it, and I'll keep hammering it home because I think it's something that we need to really look into, especially if you're an adult and you're wanting to stay or get into shape or stay in shape. It's a great way to do that. Well, thank you guys. Real quick though, the phone number again and the website.
Phone number again is 423-472-9891 and 472-9881. Our website address is scottsbikes.com, all Pearl.
There you go. So you can get information there, or again, watch WTMB during the month of March, and you'll see some more exciting stuff about Scott's Bikes. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
We're going to be back with more Tennessee Valley this morning. We have Michael Mayfield and Ron Moore on the way, so stay tuned. Back in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dennis Ford, board certified in anti-aging medicine and pain management. Have you had recent decrease in energy, lack of sex drive, feel moody, grumpy, or sad? If so, you may have low testosterone and be a candidate for bioidentical hormone replacement. Listen to what 2 of my patients have to say.
Before I came to the Ford Clinic, I had to have a nap every day.
When I got off work, I'd lay around, really didn't want to do much and felt real lazy.
I've noticed since I had the testosterone implant that I can go a good 8 hours doing the things I enjoy doing.
I had it done, it took about 25, 30 minutes, 5 months, and I'm doing good. My stomach, my muscles, they've completely changed. My fat level has dropped. Get to go out and run, exercise with my son. My muscles are just getting stronger.
If you'd like to change your life, please call me at Ford Center for Pain Management and Anti-Aging Medicine at 423-400-9115.
Very simple process, and it's well worth it.
I'm Byron Winters with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. Contact me for all of your business insurance needs. From general liability to workers' comp, commercial auto, and business umbrellas, Landmark Insurance has you covered.
Hyperbaric Services of East Tennessee is now open in Cleveland. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is an incredible treatment, clinically tested for a variety of physical and neurologic conditions, including autism, migraine headaches, even sprains and injuries. It is a simple, safe, and painless process that raises a patient's oxygen level, providing an array of health benefits. So whether you're dealing with a weekend sports injury, chronic condition, or looking for anti-aging, you owe it to yourself to explore what Hyperbaric Services can do for you.
Hi, I'm Brittany Jackson. Join me every Wednesday night at 6:30 and midnight where we will highlight local sports, chat with coaches, and discover new tips every week. Only on In the Spotlight with Brittany Jackson.
Hello, welcome back, Tennessee Valley this morning. As you can see, my lovely wife Kim has joined me again.
That's right. Couldn't live without
and
me.
I do enjoy I can't live without her. I do enjoy talking to her, but with the bike riding thing, I kind of like Josh to be sitting there again because I more information. But anyway, so we are now joined by Michael Mayfield. And Michael, thank you so much for being with us
Thanks
today.
for having
man.
me.
Michael Mayfield, of course, from the Mayfield family in Athens, Tennessee. Yes. And Michael's got a program we're going to talk to you about today called the CSA.
Correct.
Which is
community-supported agriculture.
Okay.
And so if you kind of take those words, that's kind of what it basically means. We have a 20-week program, and we basically sign people up now before the season begins, and then basically what it is they get a box of produce every week for 20 weeks, whatever is in season. So it'll be a mixed bag, so to speak.
Right.
And so, to give you an example, in the spring, one of the first boxes, we'll have strawberries. It'll have, lettuce, broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, sugar snap peas, onions, beets, spring stuff.
Right.
And then as you progress on throughout the season, you start to see squash and zucchini added in there, and then the strawberries and some of that go away, but then you get tomatoes and sweet corn and all that.
And this is homegrown, folks. This is locally.
It's all
and
locally.
We're seeing some pictures
Right,
of the boxes
that's
that they
probably
delivered last year.
June, July box right there, because you've still got some of the early June there, because you still got some of the leafy stuff, but it's got some blackberries in there, so it may be, some of the spring stuff will carry on through. Surprisingly enough, we had lettuce for a while last year and some things that, there's one with sweet corn in it, and
Peppers, it looks like peppers and
unfortunately,
banana
for some
papers.
reason, I don't have any tomatoes in the.
Oh, we all love our maters around
they
these
do
parts.
come in the boxes, so don't think that you're going to be neglected of tomatoes. So,
Well, Michael, let me ask you. Now, the box has got various, obviously, fruits and vegetables, but just in the ballpark, I mean, is there a certain weight?
Well, there is, but some people aren't familiar with a full share box is basically a tomato box worth. Okay, and some people I know don't know how much a tomato box is, but basically what we tell people is if you're a couple or a family of 3, we say, and this year we're offering a half share, which you still get a box every week, but it's just half the amount of product, and so. If you're a couple or a family of, or even a family with real small, just a couple of small children that aren't going to eat a lot of produce, you're probably going to want to go with a half share. But if you've got a family of 4 and you got some healthy, teenagers that are middle school that are eating a lot of food, you're going to want to get a full share. Or if you've got a neighbor that you want to help out, a full share. We had a lot of people that did that last year. Last year we did not offer the half share. And one of the responses we got from several people was it was just too much stuff for us, and they didn't want to waste any of it, and that was mainly from couples, and they just said, look, we don't want to waste it, can you do a half share? And so we decided to obviously offer that this year, and so far it's probably still been about 75% of the people that are signing up or getting a full share, and about 25% are doing a half share. So
now this helps with the farmers to be able to have some seed money as
That's
well
exactly
too,
right.
because they're not having to wait until they're reaping their efforts.
Exactly.
They get it beforehand.
It's almost in a sense contract growing, if you want to think of it like that. But it kind of takes the risk for a farmer and spreads it over a larger group of people in a sense, and so. And we really enjoyed our program. This is not something that's new to the United States. It's been around for a while, but it was new to our farm, and we really enjoyed it last year. And the biggest thing is it creates a sense of community.
Yes.
And also people go, hey, he's my farmer. He grows my food. And so it gives them that sense of. They feel like they're a part of your farm, and we like that. We want the members to come to the farm and see where the stuff is grown, and it just kind of gives you that satisfaction.
Well, and now I think so much here lately in the past few years, there's been such an emphasis on organic or either locally grown or just freshness. Before there was so much processed, we never really realized what we were eating until all of a sudden there's that movement to have your locally grown, and the fruits and the vegetables are just so much better when you can say, even though somebody grows them somewhere at the grocery store, when you get them in a box like that,
it's going to be fresher. You know where it came from, and so the local movement is really continuing to take off, and not just in produce, but I think in a lot of things, everything. People are really trying to look back at that. But you're going to get a better product just for the simple fact that it's fresher, and you look in the store and I know there's a lot of things that are labeled organic, but look where it came from.
Right.
They trucked it all the way across from California to here or from somewhere else, and so what's the And the other thing for me is the environmental value of that. You know, what's the carbon footprint of having to truck something 3,000 miles to get it here? It may be, you know, and I think that a lot of people don't necessarily consider that sometimes. And so knowing that it came from a local source, you know, you're environmentally more sound, but you're also, it's just going to be a better tasting product. And that's one of the reasons the new pickup point that we have in Chattanooga at the Alliance Physical.
Cleveland.
Yes, excuse me, in Cleveland.
They confuse us.
We
all
have
the time.
2 in Chattanooga at Main Street Farmers Market and on Wednesdays, and then at the Sunday Market on Sundays in Chattanooga. But we just added the one in Cleveland here, right off of Paul Huff. I guess is that Petco that is next to
Right next to Petco and Aldi's.
Alliance Physical Therapy, and there's a CrossFit gym that's being run out of there, Scenic City CrossFit. He was a member from Chattanooga last year, but has started a gym here in Cleveland, and actually emailed me the other day and said, "Hey, I've got a new gym in Cleveland. Would you want to do a pickup point?" I was like, "Yeah, great," you know. And so,
you would.
Well, we've been looking for one because we had a couple members last year, and so we've got a spot in Cleveland, which is great. Where it'll be a Wednesday pickup. Basically, what we'll do is, as we're going up to the Main Street Farmers Market in Chattanooga, we'll just drop those boxes there and then head on up to the Farmers Market there. And so, but the owner of Alliance was very receptive because I think he'll end up being a member. You know, he's actually said his wife was very interested in becoming a part of the program, and so that was really exciting news just about a week ago that we found that out.
Well, we also, I mean, we've mentioned Chattanooga, of course. Now you just mentioned Cleveland, but you have a couple of pickup locations on Tuesday and Thursday for our friends in the Main County.
Right
area.
in Athens, we're at the farm Tuesday and Thursday. We have a pickup both days from 2 to 6 at our farm market stand. And then at Citizens National Bank on Congress Parkway, which, you know, Highway 11, they're the main drag there in Athens. We have a satellite stand which we set up starting with strawberries, and we sell other things there, but we make that a pickup for people as well. And a lot of people like that spot. It seems to be convenient. It's more out in town for them, and so yes, and that's a Thursday from 2 to 6 as well. So
now, if somebody watching, and I'm just asking this off the cuff, if there's a farmer out there watching wanting to participate in this, can they? And if they do, how do they participate?
You mean a farmer or
a grower, a farmer with the produce
that wants to put it into the box? Yes, I mean we actually do some of that now. We try to grow everything we can for the boxes, but there's sometimes it's very difficult to grow a wide range of things and do them successfully. So one of the things we say in our agreement is, if we can't find the product, or if we can't grow the product, but yet we can obtain it locally, and it's still up to the quality standards that we put on everything, then we reserve the right to do that. Which, to me and I tell all the members that, I don't hide that fact, and you're still supporting a local economy. It's still a high quality product. It's fresh. It's all those same things. It's just coming from another farm, which to me it's something kind of like double dipping the goodness, because you're helping somebody else out at the same time. So but if there are other farmers out there that would be interested in providing, helping provide a product for my boxes, I'd be very interested to talk to them. And if they're interested in doing their own CSA, I'd be interested to tell them how we went about doing it. And it's, we, like I say, it's been a good program for us, and we'll continue to do it and continue to try to grow it. We were very pleased with the result last year, and I think all of our customers were too. We've had almost all repeats this year, people that have come back. A couple have said, I'm just going to come and buy stuff at your store and not worry about what day I have to come. But for a lot of people that work during the day and don't have time to go do, and the other thing that's really interesting is some of the products people wouldn't normally go buy.
Sure.
So it forces them to learn how to cook something that they wouldn't normally do. And one of the things we're going to try to do in that regard is do some recipes, just some small little recipes we're going to do along the way. And so we're going to try to do some of that, because that was one of the other responses we will hear from people. What do I do with this?
I don't know what that is.
And so we try to keep it most things that people know.
Well, now I know that everybody out there on their mind is, how much is this going to cost me?
For full share is $600 for the year, which basically comes to $30 a week.
$30 a week, guys.
And then a half share is $350, which comes to $17.50 a week.
Right.
And I mean, you think about that, $30 a week to feed 4 or 5 people. It's their produce, but you go to the grocery store, there's no way.
Right.
And it will. And most people have said, that we were. That got us through a week. We didn't really need to. You may have to add this or that because we can't grow everything in this. In this region all the time. But everyone, all the customers seem to really go very pleased and coming back.
Well, and I think a point to that too is a lot of, and we won't not any names, but a lot of our local grocery stores have local produce anyway. So you're buying the local produce through the grocery store, and you're paying a little higher price than what you would doing it this way.
Exactly. And what I tell people is, if we don't value it at a wholesale cost to you, but we don't value it at our full retail cost. Like if you walked into our store and tried to buy that same exact box in our farm market, you're going to pay a little bit more than what you would for that box because obviously you gave me the full amount of money beforehand, and so I feel like you get a reward for that.
Well, and I think that kind of, in a sense, we all have good intentions, and and every time we go to the grocery store, we do. But this kind of, in a sense, forces you as the cook in the house or the grocery shop to eat your fruits and vegetables, folks. And especially if you have small children. I mean, this kind of keeps you. It's an accountability in a sense, because you don't want to throw it away, and you've committed to the program, so you are going to, use it.
It's kind of like getting that gym membership.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Kind of like buying that bike, Joe.
Kind of like buying that bike.
To get out there and to be accountable and make sure that you do, and you are going to have fresh locally, and in the process you're going to learn something. I mean, because we don't. I mean, as much as I consider myself a foodie in a lot of ways, and I love fresh food, I don't go outside of my comfort zone a whole lot, and so that would really kind of challenge me and give me.
Well, and the other thing that I think it teaches people is the seasonality of produce as well, which most people, we've gotten so far away from people understanding that people walk into the grocery store in January and buy tomatoes and get them home and go, man, they don't taste good. Well, of course they don't taste good. They were grown in a greenhouse somewhere, or they're not going to be what a fresh homegrown tomato is going to taste like. And so I think educating the consumer on that is very important as well, because you learn to make things in the winter and make things in the off season that you wouldn't normally do, and get excited about it. Say, no, it's coming up, and to do that, and stay away from tomatoes in December. Just don't do it. But and then and I was going to mention, I guess our website is mayfieldfarmandnursery.com, which you can print out an agreement on there. I will say, I think the agreement on our website right now does not list the Cleveland pickup location, but it exists. That's right. So if you got any questions, or they could just write in Cleveland pickup, and then we'll send them an email response back once we receive their agreement and their payment. And actually right now we have what we're calling our early bird specials, where if they get their application and payment in before March 1st, it's 10% off, and before April 1st, one day. And before April 1st, it's 5% off. So they still got another month there to get some off. And we did that just to kind of spur people on to do it a little sooner, so we could plan that. You don't want to all of a sudden come May 1st and you're starting, here in a week or two, and you get 50 people that sign up, and you go, I haven't planted enough stuff for this, And so, and then so a website, and then you can email us at mayfieldfarmcsa@gmail.com. That's the email we try to use for our CSA members, and then phone number at the office is 423-746.
9859.
Thank you. 9859. God,
the man with the numbers on the paper.
And you'll leave us a voicemail there if you got any other questions, and we can we'll respond to that as quickly as we can. And so, but there's we're very excited about this year. One of the biggest things we've seen, I guess, the compliments that we've gotten from other folks that have done CSAs in the Chattanooga or Knoxville area is fruit. We have strawberries, blackberries, cantaloupe, watermelon. We should have peaches this year, barring that we don't have some crazy late frost and knock them out.
And we all know about those Macmillan cantaloupes.
Oh, goodness.
And so and sweet corn too. That seems to be another one that people really that they've done others and not. There's certain products that other growers just don't do, or because they don't have space or whatever that may be. That reason may be. But those are the big compliments that we seem to have gotten from people is, man, I love getting fruit in my box with my veggies. I've actually had people tell me I would just do it for the strawberries.
Right, for the strawberries.
I understand.
I know.
Well, Michael, now let's just say if somebody today is watching and they want to be a part of this, how long does it take for them to become a member and to start getting their...
What's the first date of delivery?
May 9th is the date we're shooting for. Okay. And what we say there is if weather dependent, if it doesn't start until a week later, either way we're going to communicate that through email or if someone doesn't have an email, we'll communicate it through phone. But B, they're going to get their 20 weeks however we shift that.
Okay.
They're still going to get their value out of that. Like, for instance, last year, one thing we did, because we had strawberries came in about 2 weeks earlier than they normally do, and they came in about the second week of April last year, and so and we didn't really have, the other crops hadn't started yet, and so I emailed all the members and said, we only had a full share last year, so we typically sell a gallon of strawberries for $10, and the box is a $30 box. So I said, hey, why don't we do this? Come get a gallon of strawberries for 3 weeks, and that will constitute 1 week of the box.
Oh, there you go.
And we didn't really have any complaints with that.
No, I know.
No one seemed to argue about getting a gallon of strawberries for 3 weeks as their first box, And so there's sometimes we'll try to kind of hem and haw and work that around. Right. But the basic gist of that is we're going to get you that value of what you paid for one way or another. You're going to, because there was also times where in the spring when some other things hadn't caught up, we put a can of jam or a can of jelly in there, a small, and people seem to enjoy that, And so, basic point is you're going to get your value out of it one way or another. Right. I don't want anyone to feel as though we've shortchanged them in any way, because that's not the point at all, is to try to scrape it out. And I want people to go, holy smokes, what am I going to do with all this food?
That's right. Somebody's cooking tonight.
Right. Because they come back and they tell their friends, and that's what you want.
Well, and the exciting thing is that each week, I guess at the beginning, until you get more established knowing what you're getting, it's like, let's open the box and see what we got.
That's right. That's what I think as a cook that would be, because it would really kind of give you something different. It's not going to be the same. You go on the you're like, and so you're going to give us a surprise, and then it's going to change.
The transition from like from June through July is probably the greatest shift, because you're kind of still got a little bit of spring, but then you start seeing squash and zucchini and cucumbers, and then tomatoes there at the end of June. So that's where and it is kind of fun for people. What have I got this week?
Right.
What am I going to cook this week?
That's right.
So. And we try to send emails out to kind of update.
That's a good idea.
When a new crop starts, hey, you're going to have this new in the box this week. And that's one thing. It being last year was our first year, and so this being our second year, that's one thing we're going to try to keep a much better hold on and try to do a better job of, is just communicating that to the members, because if you're trying to plan your meals that week, that's a helpful thing to know.
So real quick again, Michael, the website and the phone number if folks are interested in being a part of this plan.
Website, mayfieldfarmandnursery.com. No periods, dots, or dashes, all lowercase, and the and is spelled out. And phone number 423-746-9859. And then the email, mayfieldfarmcsa@gmail would be an email.
And you can always get in touch with us at the station, call the station, or you can email us at wtmbtv.net.
And there's contact info on the website, obviously,
and
we
can forward, get you a link and do all of that. Wonderful stuff. Well, thank you so
Thank you
much.
guys.
I'm
really
so
appreciate
excited.
it.
And
we're here in Cleveland.
I know.
Yeah, all right.
We got some stuff
and
going
again,
on
the
in Cleveland.
pickup location is in Cleveland. It's at the Alliance Physical Therapy, located there next to Petco. on Paul Huff Parkway.
so-
and
it's on
Scenic
Wednesdays.
City CrossFit is the guy who he kind of set that up, and that'll be on Wednesday.
Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Wednesday
Okay.
pickup
From about
day.
probably 2 o'clock till, I think basically we'll just drop them, and then whatever I'll have to fit, get their hours of operation. But they've been great guys. They're very supportive. I think they'll actually, both of them end up, there's a gentleman that owns the physical therapy will end up being a member. He says my wife is very interested. And then Joe Griffin is the gentleman who started the Scenic City CrossFit gym, which is being held in the Physical Alliance. So very, very excited about that too.
Well, we're excited about the program, and again, folks, get yourself some fresh fruits and produce, vegetables, and for 20 weeks.
For 20 weeks.
20 solid weeks.
And you
can
don't
feed
even
your
have to
family.
shop, and it's a surprise.
Yeah, and not to mention, it's very cost effective. You'll save yourself some money as well.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you
you
for
guys.
being with us.
I appreciate
Mike.
it.
We appreciate it. We're going to be back with Ron Moore and more of Tennessee Valley this morning. Right after this, please stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dennis Ford, board certified in anti-aging medicine and pain management. Have you had recent decrease in energy, lack of sex drive, feel moody, grumpy, or sad? If so, you may have low testosterone and be a candidate for bioidentical hormone replacement. Listen to what 2 of my patients have to say.
Before I came to the Ford Clinic, I had to have a nap every day.
When I got off work, I'd lay around, really didn't want to do much, and felt real lazy.
I've noticed since I had the testosterone implant that I can go a good 8 hours doing the things I enjoy doing.
I had it done, took about 25, 30 minutes, 5 months, and I'm doing good. My stomach, my muscles, they've completely changed. My fat level has dropped. Get to go out and run, exercise with my son. My muscles are just getting stronger.
If you'd like to change your life, please call me at Ford Center for Pain Management and Anti-Aging Medicine at 423-400-9115.
It's a very simple process, and it's well worth it.
I'm Byron Winters with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. Contact me for all of your business insurance needs. From general liability to workers' comp, commercial auto, and business umbrellas, Landmark Insurance has you covered.
Hyperbaric Services of East Tennessee is now open in Cleveland. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is incredible treatment, clinically tested for a variety of physical and neurologic conditions, including autism, migraine headaches, even sprains and injuries. It is a simple, safe, and painless process that raises a patient's oxygen level, providing an array of health benefits. So whether you're dealing with a weekend sports injury, chronic condition, or looking for anti-aging, you owe it to yourself to explore what Hyperbaric Services can do for you.
Hi, I'm Brittany Jackson. Join me every Wednesday night at 6:30 and midnight, where we will highlight local sports, chat with coaches, and discover new tips every week. Only on In the Spotlight with Brittany Jackson.
We're talking.
Always
Just
talking.
always
She doesn't
baby
ever be quiet.
hush.
Well, welcome back, Tennessee Valley. This morning, Joe and Kim Palo with you. We are now joined by our resident historian, Ron
Mr. Ron Moore.
Who, before we go, let me remind you that Ron and Debbie Moore, every Saturday from 10 till noon, Whoop Radio 99.9, Old Town Cleveland, and always interesting topics and subjects with some great information. And today on our show, we're going to talk about
early medicine. We're going to
early
stay in
medicine.
the
There you
Healthy.
go.
We've been healthy and
We've
didn't
been
even mean
healthy all
to
day.
today.
Vegetables and riding the bike. I was into the eating part.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm with you. I'm not riding a
While you're
bike.
riding a bike.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, we're not riding a bike. I'm with you, Ron.
All right, let's talk about the early medicine in this area.
Well, you know, of course, in 1834, as white settlers started to move in here, that they brought their culture and their superstitions and concerning health, and as the Indians had their own superstitions and health, they started blending together, which made a very interesting mix. And then we started having some doctors move in. And doctors in the early days weren't what we call doctors today, but necessarily. There was no education requirement or no license to be a doctor in the state of Tennessee. And of course, Bradley County wasn't even part of Tennessee until 1838. So in the early thing, only to become a doctor, basically you had to go to someone else who called himself a doctor. and you studied 2 to 3 years with them, and then you went and took one lecture at a medical school, and you were a doctor.
Wow.
No
Well, there you
license.
go.
Now, that's not the rule. That's how some of them did it.
Right. Oh, okay.
But not all students took this route. Phil Hammer wrote in some medical papers in Tennessee, any farm boy who was too lazy to plow corn might buy a horse, a pair of saddlebags, a lancet, get a few dollars worth of drugs, and hang up a shingle, name himself a doctor, and he was one.
I think
There you
that's
go.
how Dr. Don Robinson got
I
started.
think so. I'm pretty sure that.
Dr. Robinson, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, he did not buy a horse. He had a
No,
Honda.
no, no.
He bought a Honda.
He bought a Honda. There you go.
And there was a book out that most of these people used, and it was Gunn's Domestic Medicine Book, A Poor Man's Friend on the Hour of Affliction, Pain, and Sickness.
Oh, well, there you go.
And basically what they talked about a lot of was roots and herbs and common sense.
There
Right.
you go.
Now, that's how you became a doctor.
Yeah.
Some of our doctors may need some of that.
They might need to go back to school on that.
So I hope I don't have to see my doctor this week.
That's right, after all this.
But that book was published up here in Madisonville, Tennessee,
Okay.
and it had 12 editions from 1832 to 1838. So they changed it every 6 months.
Okay.
Common sense changed.
It was a
little bit.
work in progress, type book, and so this is a little scary. This is how we.
But back in those days, there was a lot of guys being shot at and being
Yes.
shot. So if you just were educated about the roots and the different things, they had to do surgeries and stuff, didn't
Well,
they?
we'll talk about that.
All right.
Well, I don't
I'm
even-
getting ahead of myself.
If it wasn't herbs and that,
Roots.
a lot of cures included bloodletting,
Yes,
puking, and purging.
yes.
So that pretty much
My
solved
grandmother
everything.
did a lot of the purging with the castor oil. It
And,
would
you
cure
know,
what ailed you.
And basically, if you were shot at the time of amputation and everything, during the Civil War, which it comes up about 40 or 50 years later, is that the amputation, that infections was one of the main things.
Yeah.
And one thing that killed a lot of soldiers was their diets were very bad, and diarrhea killed more soldiers. Not more soldiers than the bullets, but a lot of people died of illnesses, simple things of diarrhea. The life expectancy in those early days was about 46 years old.
Wow.
So you see how medicine has brought that along. In 1850, Dr. F.A. Ramsey took a survey of all the physicians in East Tennessee, that's Knoxville, Chattanooga, up through here, and found out there was 201 doctors serving 164,000 people. This is 1850 still. Of the 201 doctors, 35 of them were graduates, not 35%. 35 of them were graduates of a medical school. 42 of them had, though, attended one lecture at a medical school, but didn't graduate. 95% professed to be regulars, but had never received instruction from any source except from a book that they may or may not have read. Okay.
Or could have.
And the last bunch was my favorite. There were 22 of them were described as botanic, steamers, and generally mostly ignorant.
There you go.
So hopefully we've progressed about that. So in 1890, the Bradley County Medical Society reported Bradley County had 30 doctors left here and there, or 30 doctors in just Bradley County. Only 11 of those had graduated from a medical school. So as you can see, medicine was quite primitive in there. Of course, they didn't have X-rays. They didn't have laboratories. Most of those doctors in this area graduated from one college. So in this area, there was one time there was nearly 112 different colleges in the state of Tennessee just for medical purposes. As we progressed, I don't think any of those are open today, though. But most who graduated attended Grant University Medical School from 1890 to 1904.
Wow.
And now Grant Medical University is gone, but that college is still there. So a little college down the road called University of Tennessee at Chattanooga.
Oh,
There you go.
UTC. So pretty much that's sort of just the medical history of Bradley County. There's a lot of local doctors here who were in each of these categories, who grew through and saved that. And of course, as we progressed, medicine became more popular. And one of the early hospitals we had here was PNS Supply. PNS Supply. That was the.
That was an office furniture.
That's all, yeah.
Yeah.
P&S, physicians and surgeons, and
Okay.
then we
Okay.
had Spec Hospital, and then we had, of course, then Bradley Memorial Hospital, and
Well,
medicine progressed.
And the interesting thing is, as you said, throughout the years now, we're living to be 70 and 80 years old because of how medicine has advanced, which is good in itself. And
Not
who
so
knows what'll
ignorant
happen.
anymore.
Yeah, who knows what will happen in the future.
And probably our diets have changed quite a bit, you
Yeah.
know, as Mr. Mayfield was talking about earlier.